All right, so I've been doing a from 30 to Pro series on the side, and I have a very similar deck to this, but it's not quite the same. It has a bit of a different leader ability and stuff like that, but the core of it is similar. Now, I wanted to see how something like this would perform in Pro rank. I also wanted to see if we can get away with playing Warriors, maybe the way that they've been intended to be played back in the day when discard package didn't seem like an absolutely mandatory thing. So for this video, I went and I took out the discard package, and I'm talking about Coral, talking about Berna, the Morkvarg, the Skirmishers, right? With the provision nerf to Coral a couple months ago and then the Skirmishers in this most recent patch, it becomes less of an attractive option. Now, this deck here, again, doesn't use them, but there are other means of thinning, such as Blood Eagle, we have Vabjorn, and of course, Raiding Fleet. So I feel like that alone could be enough to make the deck work. Now, is this tier 1? No, it's not tier 1. Is it good? I think it's actually pretty good, and I was impressed with the results that we got during the gameplay for today, and so you'll see quite a few games. I think we have 5 or 6 games that will be featured in this video. Now, to go through the deck, I tried to put as many warriors as possible, but sometimes there were just instances where you wanted to have other cards other than warriors. Like, I think Fukusha is one of those cards that you just can't sleep on. It's probably one of the best Skellige cards, if not the best Skellige card right now. So to take this out just to keep it all warriors didn't make a lot of sense. Also, the thinning with the raiding fleet depends on getting boats in the deck, so I wanted to put at least 2 so that we had options for those thinning. But other than that, everything's going to be a warrior, or it's going to have a raid tag, which can be tutored, right? And that's kind of the most important part. Now, Fukusha, on deploy, play a Skellige unit from our graveyard with a provision cost of 10 or less and give it doomed, then spawn rain in the opposite row with a duration equal to unused provisions. So we can go for one of our really good bronze cards. Like, we can go for a long ship, maybe if it's early in the round. We can go for a raider because it's going to have the veteran status and play up to 7 points by round 3, plus the 2 damage, plus its 5 provisions, so we have 5 turns of rain. That's actually incredible, right? It really depends. We need more utility. We can pull into one of these cards for some damage pings to break something down, but most often you're going to be using the raider. Now, we do have really good gold options as well. So if Fukusha pulls into something like this Scoia'tael, we'll get Scoia'tael at 6 power in round 3, so we do 6 power worth of damage essentially, plus we get the 2 turns of rain. Or if we're looking to punish something really tall, we can go for the Turgvi, right? This will come out at 7 base power and do damage equal to the opponent's base power. So you can use that on pretty much anything that doesn't have Veil, right? Now, I think that's pretty good. I didn't go with Morkvarg in this deck just simply because I didn't want to have cards that couldn't be tutored. If you felt like you really wanted to have Morkvarg, then by all means you could fit Morkvarg somewhere in the upper end here. It would probably mean that you have to get rid of Turgvi, and I don't feel great about that when we have cards like King Bran that really kind of give this card heightened value. So I basically decided that for this deck I have the 1 tall punish, and that play comes from the Jutta swing with the Tursik iced off of the leader. So again, 12 points of removal seems like a pretty tall punish to me. I know it's not a Morkvarg, but it seems to get the job done regardless. Now, Blood Eagle is really good. Damage an enemy unit by 2, then play a warrior from your deck with a provision cost of 7 or less. Deathblow, play a warrior from your deck instead. So that just means we get to choose whatever we want, right? Things that we can't get before. Usually that's what we're going for, is the things that are going to be above 7. Right? But if we've pulled all our golds, then we can go for something that we missed in the bronze end, which is fine. We don't have to worry about the death blow condition. We can just use it for consistency. Normally in round 1, I like to cycle out bronzes, and then in round 3, I like to reach for maybe that last gold or 2, right, that we missed. So that's kind of the way I like to use the card. What's nice is that they fixed this card a couple patches ago. So before, it wouldn't count Bloodthirst given from this card, but now it does. So if we have 2 red units on their side of the board and we play Blood Eagle on, let's say, a 3rd unit and we make it red, right, then this will still work for the upper cards that we're looking for. So with that fix came more potential to play this card again and make it count. So that's that. Herald, again, we're probably going to want to save till round 3 unless we're getting pretty like heavily bled in round 2. So Herald the Cripple, round 3 is really important. It has Veil, they can't lock it. Deploy, play a Bronze Warrior from a graveyard and give it doomed. So the longer we wait to play Herald, the better the play is going to be, because we can bring out a Raider for 7 points, because the Raider has Veteran, right? So that's why we want to wait. Just the two like added abilities here, and then the third one, whenever you play a warrior, damage a random enemy unit by 1. So there's really like 3 reasons to hold on to Herald to go into a round 3, opposed to playing them early for just, you know, the Warmonger. It's pretty sad. So I would maybe even sooner take Fukusha if I'm being bled than to take Herald, just because I feel like in a short round it's really nice to have that utility, right? Herald with a ping plus a Raider with a ping, take a Blood Eagle, take the last gold card. You see, it cycles out much better than just having like a Fukusha in that round, because the Fukusha Rain doesn't do a lot in a short round 3, and generally it's going to be a short round 3 for being bled. So that's pretty much it. We have Iced, so this also has Veteran. It also benefits from the King Brand play. And basically 6 power in round 3. Deploy on Bloodthirst 3, draw a card, discard a card whenever you discard a Skellige unit during your turn. Summon it from the graveyard to this row with a counter of 2. So with Devotion also works when cards enter... My stomach's going off. Also works when a Skellige unit enters our graveyard during our turn. So what we're looking to do here basically is put this card down with Bloodthirst 3, draw something, discard something, and goes in the playing field. Maybe it's like a Raider, maybe it's like an Invader, something like that sort, right? Maybe it's a boat, who knows? And then we go and we take our leader, and we basically use that for our tall removal, and then the Jutta comes on the board for the big 12 points. So right there's like 24 points off the Jutta, 12 in damage, 12 on our side. Iced is worth 6, and then of course if we get the extra effect from it, we get the extra points from like whatever card we threw on the board. So you can imagine that's like a 40-point turn. So in a short round it's pretty crazy, even if we don't Bloodthirst 3. So this is kind of something that you'll find your opponents want to bleed out, but they often can't get if you just let them have Fukusha in round 2. So we save like these for round 3. It's actually pretty detrimental for them, and usually can win us the game. King Brand, we don't really use for his deploy effect, we use for the passive effect, right? So at the start of the game, trigger the veteran ability of all our units. That's just going to give us quite a few extra points throughout the game, so including itself. So we have 1, 2, we've got 3, 4, right? 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're getting the 8 boosts technically off of that, plus the 7, or rather 8 base power by the end of the game, plus whatever it boosts. So it does play for its provisions, right? I'm looking at this like 8 plus 8, 16, plus whatever we get here, which is usually about 2, 1 or 2. So really good points for 11 provisions there. I don't think you want to miss it. Like I said, Turgvi is just give an enemy unit Rupture, so damage it by its base power at the end of their turn. They have to have a Purify in that instance, or we just get really good value. The best part about this card is that we could potentially play it twice, right? So it really gives us power to push, and if the opponent's doing a really point slam deck, they get punished for it. So that's kind of a good thing about it. This is really good flexibility for removal. This plus damage pings has a really high ceiling, especially in round 3, being able to do 6 damage, having 6 base power, and then having units on the board that might have like pings, or Herald giving pings to help complete kills. So Scoia'tael is a really threatening card that we can play up to twice in the game as well. Of course, Vabjorn just pulls whatever we need. He pulls a raid card. In a former version of this deck, I tried Freya's Blessing in the 5 provision spot, just because the spot was kind of awkward, and I really wanted to put War of Clans, but I felt like it wasn't possible. Like everything in the deck had a reason for me. I even thought about putting the longships into the other boats at 4p to free up some spot here, but it didn't feel comfortable because we didn't really want the other boats in a deck like this. So yeah, clans would have been something I wanted to put. I don't regret putting Stunning Blow, but at one point I had Freya's, and I just don't think Freya's works. Even though we can pull one of our, you know, higher end bronze cards, we can't tutor Freya's, so it felt kind of awkward. But Vabjorn can basically tutor Blood Eagle, Raiding Fleet, Stunning Blow, Primal Savagery, and Gutting Slash. So I feel like good flexible card. We take what we need when we need it. We get the thin when we need it. I'd like to be able to take maybe Vabjorn into one of the bronze ones, because these are also kind of tutors. It just feels a little bit more comfortable to use them separately, but sometimes you'll be able to take a fleet off of Vabjorn into a boat, which is fine in the same turn, right? Now, Jutta is one of those cards that we always mulligan back in the deck because we don't want to see it. We want to get our leader to use that 12 as removal because our backup targets are not very impressive. Like, we have maybe an Invader at 8 points in round 3, right? We want to have the full 12 reach and have this come on the board, so it's kind of the idea with the deck. I didn't want to go put great swords and other tall things in the deck because I just felt like they weren't necessary, and running great swords without running Like a Hjalmar, it kind of felt bad, right? Like, if I was going to have that card, if I can find it here, I'd probably want to have this card as well. So, no room for that. I'd sooner put in Morkvarg, I think, at this point. But that's that. Stunning Blow gives us added reach, right? If we want to remove something that has armor, we do 6 damage. It plays quite well with all the other things we have to give damage on the board. And I feel like the long ships are just something that need to be answered pretty quick. This helps us get Bloodthirst pretty much easier than anything else. Every time they play a unit, we're giving it 1 damage. So you can imagine after a couple turns we have Bloodthirst 3, it sets up things quite effectively. And we have our stratagem to boost it up if we're playing one early. So it helps keep it on the board, and that could ultimately push an opponent out around 1 or take a tall removal in order to remove that at 9 power plus 1 armor, right? So sometimes it involves, like I said, that overcommitment to get rid of something that's only 5 provisions. So I like it there. Raiders, pretty simple. We spoke about them enough. It's one of my favorite Skellige bronze. Actually, it's probably my favorite Skellige bronze. It's just such a good card, especially in a build like this. Gutting Slash, we always take it for 6 damage unless it's better to take it for 4 now because it would be worth more than 6 later. So you'll see it kind of being played both ways. 6 damage if we just want to use it for points, 4 if we're looking to get rid of an engine, which is fine. I think Primal Savageries just trade up really well, Death Blow, Spawn, and a Bomb. So right there's 8 points if set up properly. For 4 provisions, quite effective, and there's many different ways to chip things down, right, as we spoke about. This is just a safe point slam, and these are just better because they just recently got buffed. So they're playing for 7 points. If you just play it like that, it's progressive because it has the bleeding, but then if we take one back from graveyard, it's doing 3 damage immediately. So it's just, we're getting that immediate value. So in a short round, this could make the difference, right? So I think it's pretty good for that reason. And Brockvar's just, I would say at this point, they're one of our least effective bronzes, but they're important to make the Primal Savagery work. Like, having them in there as added security is, like, safe. Otherwise, I'd probably want to rework both these cards. But I think it really plays well together, and the point ceiling of something like the Brockvar Hunter over a long round is pretty effective. So, you know, it plays for 5 on the first turn, but if we can put that down there and it sticks, we're getting maybe 8 or 9 points out of this card by the end of the round if it's a long round. So that's basically it. We'll get into the games today. And a couple little things, I'm now on Patreon, so if you guys want to support the channel, that's another way you can do so. The link will be down in the description. And I know I took a couple days off, but I'm returned to my full capacity, and I'll be uploading every day this week at 8 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, so stick around for that. And yeah, if you like the content you see, sub to the channel. We're pushing for 6,500 subs, and I think we'll get there soon. So yeah, for now, let's get into the games. Every single person's playing this deck. Alright, let's have a look here. I think Herald would go back early on. We have 2 boats, so we'll put one of those back. And I'm not loving the idea of King Bran early on, so we'll take that. We get some pings, and then we chip things down with the Savagery. That's kind of the idea here. I think the boat's probably more important for that reason, so we'll go and start with that. Try and get double boat and take round that way. And just see if we can deal with the whole waylay thing as it happens. That would need a heat wave from them, I'm sure, if they want to stay in it. It's a handful of elves, a good target for the fleet. We just go and take. And see if they have a rebuke. Okay. I see what they're going for. And they'll probably use it next. But I still think we're supposed to, I'm going to hit this just so that I have a target. They must have a waylay in hand or a way to get one. Okay, or that. That's a problem too, right? Since we have so many special cards, we probably actually take this. And then next turn we could set up a better one off the Deadeye. That's actually better. 825, we got what we wanted. I think we go for the round 3 that we wanted. Just like a long round 3, right? Stunning Bolt is pretty good. Armor 6. I don't know any instances in this matchup where we'll need armor, but it's better than a slash, right? This is just okay. +1. I think we're gonna dump actually one of these for now. It's... what do we have here to bring back? We could bring back a boat. We could bring back a raider. I don't mind playing, you know, I don't mind playing raiders from hand in round 3. Let's just test it out here, see what's going on. I think we've got a little bit of room here. Yeah. Oh, wow. So that happened. Sure. I wasn't gonna... like, I was gonna pass there. It would have been perfect, but... obviously the leader charge makes it a little bit difficult. That's big points. So Fukusha into a boat could probably get us back in. I kind of want to keep Lasse. I think it's important. Unless they're playing everything. I mean, at this point, we just throw cards down, don't we? Okay, that's all right. We're still doing fine. We still play this. So this plays for 9. They take 2. Puts us up by 2. Do we care? It depends on what it is. I think we still play it. Yeah, puts us up by 3 rather. There, I think we still play it because I think the last card was Simless. Blood Eagle Iced is good. This can go. Vabjorn into what now? A slash. I think it's supposed to be Vabjorn into Blood Eagle. There we go. That's a bit better. So I would say that they had a pretty expensive round 2. And we played mainly bronze cards with Fukusha. Venadane. So we got to take that out. This could mean they have Heatwave in hand. I think we still do it.
So, no one
So, yeah. They will probably heatwave the Raider, if anything. We go Vabjorn into Blood Eagle into Turgvi in this turn. Yeah, they did. At this point, we'll take that out. Oh my gosh. We had it too. Turgvi plays for 11 points. Plus the Herald pings 12. Whoops. Hopefully it lets us play. Because we're already up. Whoops. I dropped my phone. Sorry about that. Yeah. We're pretty much wiping the board at that point. Alright, so next up we got Double Cross, and I wasn't expecting to run into it because I haven't really seen a lot of that recently, but we'll see how it goes here. We have a lot of vulnerable targets that they can make copies of if it's like a true Assimilate deck, so we have to be careful. Now, let's have a look here. One of these cycled out's kind of nice. Blood Eagle cycled out's kind of nice. I want to say we hold on to Fakusha because we might not see her again. Maybe we put back Dax that only plays for 6 points in the round, and same with the King Bran. That's not bad. We'll find out pretty quick what's going on with this deck. I just wonder what the Curse Scroll's for. This doesn't look like your traditional deck with a Tortoise, but we'll see. Maybe that's something they put in as like a provision adjustment. I think we're supposed to just play a boat. We'd get pretty good value. We get pretty good value from hitting that, you know what I mean? Like, if I took a stunning blow off of it, it's not bad because we do 6. Kind of just, like, changes the tides. Get it? Second Joust, though, is going to take it out. We'll get the Bleeding online because, you know, we want to kind of push for the next few turns. And then we have some good things we can warm up here, like Raiders. We pull out the Vabjorn. Actually,
I despise Dimeritium.
I think we're supposed to still dome this because it's an engine. But it would be nice to actually not have to worry. Like, yeah, we'll get Fleet out next. Them cooing that with this board state is not very impressive. Oh, Neuromancy, okay. Into a Blightmaker. I'm surprised that they have Neuromancy and Blightmakers when things got a bit more expensive, right? This is what we'll do. We'll go take the boat. I think it's about time for that. I think we're gonna have a higher point ceiling on the boat than we will on like a Savagery in that instance. Plus, we kind of want to take the thin, so. And the 2 bleeding here, this continuing, and then boat doing work is actually pretty good. Okay, so they're like really trying to thin out for whatever reason, like. $16 and 8. 8. This is 7. It's like a perfect Turgvi. Like, normally I wouldn't just do that, but at this point it seems like why wouldn't I, right? And really, if they take leader, it's not going to be the best leader at this point.
I need not spill blood to make you
That's
see
fine.
never before.
Now, thinking about it, like, smartly, what would we want to cycle out? We have Bloodthirst 3. I think we just warm this up. Yeah, because I want to try and Deathblow that, right? Just get rid of it. It's the only engine they have going on. And even if it gets Assimilate 1, we just take Blood Eagle and just go for like a Hunter. That's the coup. They take it on the 5, right?
Over your dead body.
And they're going to take that leader as well. That's not a good leader. Okay, so we do lose 5 points and a turn. We kind of want to get rid of that, don't we? 1, 2, yeah. So that's what we'll do.
What is it?
We lose 5, but they lose 1, so we stay ahead by 1 point. We could pretty much go all in except for Fukusha. Like, I feel kind of bad playing her here, but if it means that they don't get to make a copy of that later, then that's not really that bad, is it? Let's say if I did it, what does it mean for us? That's not bad. Yeah.
Your descendants, my beloved. Sacrifices for
Women,
menacing, one
children,
and all.
elders. We spare none.
We want to get Bloodthirst, don't we? Start working on the engine here. Just because I want Bloodthirst 3 so that when we play this from hand, it actually works. If last card's Yen, that's kind of bad, right? They get to pull off Fukusha into Turgvi, but... realistically, I don't think we spent a whole lot here. We spent Fukusha, and we spent... I think they pulled the wrong card.
Very corpses? Nay, feed our foes to the crabs while they still live.
They took the Raider, didn't they? Fukusha would have been so many points for them. I guess they were trying to go for like the most points or whatever the case. So we got Herald. There's like a lot of cards I don't want. There's like some ones that we do. That's a bit better, I suppose. You know, I think we have 2-0. I really do. But I wonder if we can secure it by just passing on them here. Because it wouldn't be a very long round. I'm pretty content with the pass. It is Nilfgaard after all, but like having them at 5 cards is not really different than having them at 3. Just because I want to get the extra pings from Herald, and I also want to have like the situation, you know, where I have last say. Okay. So I think if we have Iced and Scoia'tael, we just win. they're going to be able to take the Terra Nova like into the Scoia'tael, which is pretty scary. So we want to make sure that we don't have Judah on the board at that time. So, okay, this is fine because this is going to be from our leader, and then we can pull like an invader or something like that with the Blood Eagle. We don't have to worry about a death blow because they have the Mushy Truffle. I think we should just win this game. I hope that we can see it through, though. And I was a little bit skeptical at first about, okay, what if we run Warriors without discard? But if you guys look at the amount of cards in either of our decks, they had Oneromancy and Blightmakers and Dead Man's Tongue. And we somehow have the same amount of cards in deck, right? So just take that in for a sec, you know? This will get too much value. I think we have to remove it. Because it already plays for more than that. Once we play, like, let's say, Herald and all that. So the problem for them is that if they do make a copy of this Scoia'tael, it's not going to be 6, right? It'll be 3, I believe. Which is not as good. We'll play Herald here. It's always going to be the 7, I think. Yeah. Now, do they have the means of cooing Herald by any means? They need 2 damage to do that. I want to get this gone. It's kind of a big deal. Okay, so I want to get this out of the way. And I want to get what this makes out of the way. Okay. That makes it a bit more difficult. At least we have a tall target for the Judah. Here's what we're going to do, I think. If we take that... Yeah, we'll just take this out. Because it's like the immediate threat. And then we'll just go for the point slam here. I don't think we'll ever get that, but at this point in the match, I don't know if it matters. We do get the extra boost here, so it's not like we lost the points on the boat anyways. Yeah, I guess Joaquin would be the best bet. Now they thin down to... What's the defender for? Leader? I wonder. I don't think last card's going to be like Damien, Stefan, whatever the case. Well, it'll be Damien, but I don't think it's going to be. Because, they wouldn't have the order. Yeah. I'm still thinking Terra Nova, so we'll play it safe. This way their best target's going to be the 7. And then obviously we lose a little bit of value on taking this out instead of this out, but it is what it is. Like, we should still win the game. We don't get the Bloodthirst anyways for the additional pull, but it's not all that important. No, no, no. Okay, I thought they were going to go on this one. So I do have to play.
Skellige and Sintra shall stand ever together. May Freya choose the victor.
Just kind of give them some indication of what we got going on there. I'd say it's a pretty big difference. Alright, next up we got a little self-wound, I'm guessing. Otherwise it's Lippy. I think we'll do better into self-wound than Lippy. I think both will be difficult. We'll see. We do go second, which is kind of nice. Herald can go back. This hand's too top heavy. Bran can go back, I think. Let's see. Vabjorn, Eagle, this. We can go into another damage card, I suppose. It's gotta be... It's gotta... That's not good either. We're not gonna play that. Let's go! Alright, so we got Jackpot up next, and I'm surprised because I haven't seen this matchup in quite a while. I want to see how it does in this current meta. Obviously, they received quite a few changes to the faction, but I think we should still be, like, somewhat competitive. We have the 1 tall removal, so we have to save it, right? 2 is pretty slow. This could be good. Right, we kind of want to ping things down. I think this goes. I don't mind 2. I really don't. Because we have pings for days for these. We have this for lots of stuff. I want to say that's the hand. We'll just float. Maybe we don't boost it just in case they have poison. We'll find out shortly. By the way, guys, you know how I always say, like, oh, I'm gonna get back into streaming, you know, and then I just don't? Oh my gosh. I actually have the intention of doing this over the next week or so. I put in an order for some rogue energy supplements, like an actual couple tubs of it and some stuff like that. And I told myself when it comes in the mail, then I'll stream. And it's been shipped. So it's one of those things that should happen. Now they spent big. We're going to go and we're going to spend a little bit here to get rid of that engine. But yeah, it just comes down to me wanting to have, like, you know, a little bit of an energy boost for like the longer streams and stuff like that, because my workload's going to increase. So got the black cherry flavor on the way. It tastes like a cherry blaster. It's really good. We're really having a tough time with this one here. We got to get some tempo. Doesn't really matter what we ping down. I think we go in with the fleet. Or do we go with the Vabjorn into the Blood Eagle? No, I think we go into the fleet, really. Because fleet into a boat makes a big difference over the course of a round that looks like it could be quite kind of long for us to get out of. Now, we'll do this one. And we don't want to hit the boat down. Because it'll just come back, right? We want to kind of focus on this or something else they play that can get pinged with the boat and stuff like that, so. I didn't think they had it, but they do. It's kind of annoying. You know what'd be really cool? Is if Primal Savagery had a beast tag on it. Because it summons a beast. Then it would synergize with this. Wouldn't it? Because right now I think Fukusha works with it. A couple other little things. I mean, we're actually getting really good value here on these savageries. But I think what we're supposed to do before then even is play this. Just because 3 turns is quite a lot. This is just an easy card to play. We could pretty much play down our whole hand. I am actually looking for a pass, I think. That doesn't keep them ahead. It's Bloodthirst 3, yeah. This is something we could play. However, the next card they play will just give us Bloodthirst as well. So I think we just go and take this while we can. Bloodthirst 2 does 6 damage with the Gutting Slash, so we're doing actually not bad. Okay, there's the 3 that we're looking for. We'll just save that, because we have the 1 bleeding, plus we have, like, this we don't have to play. Like, this gets better as it goes along. Doesn't have to be in graveyard. Just wonder how far they're going to take it. 10 points, like, I don't see them making this in 1 turn. Like, 11. Well, 12, because they're going to be losing 1. I'm still gonna keep going here. That's gotta push them out. Unless they take like a Savola tribute, which, yeah. So we did spend Vabjorn, Scoia'tael, Fleet. We traded for Ludo, Professor. Now we have to decide here. Okay, Jitta goes back. That's pretty simple. Gutting Slash can go back because we have Stunning Blow. At the first, I was like thinking Stunning Blow wasn't all that great, but I'm actually pretty happy that we have it. Do I ever soft bleed here? I think I play a card and see what they do, even if it means going down. So, problem is they might have another Fist Tech because they don't have Traffickers, right? We have all damage here. We have to pass on that. But if they play a Fist Tech, they get ahead by boat, I guess. Otherwise, they have to make the points, and maybe we get something like Junior. Yeah, so the boat does it here. That's whatever. We maintain last say, that's the important part. Now, looking at it here, they are Devotion, right? So, the only means of removal I think they have left would be... Here, we'll take care of that. We need Blood Eagle here, it's kind of important. Okay, Herald's fine. We just miss, like, this, which is pretty big. Siggy has to go, I think. Siggy's pretty bad. I mean, to start off with, we'll just go with this here. I'm just worried that maybe they have, like, the Freak Show and they're going to play that soon, but... See if we could try and get some Bloodthirst, get a good, good Tursic. Actually, maybe we actually pull into that, right? Like, there's a chance we could. That's huge. It's got to be Fukusha, right? Fukusha on the... It'll be for 2 turns. Is there a better way? Yeah. We'll take Stunning Blow here first. We'll just dish the damage before they remove it. Because I want to get some value here, at least with the 2 turns. Yeah. So now we know we can go unranged. And then we just maybe focus on, like, that. In case they have, like, a... They might have Caesar, right? So just the one... All we need is 1 ping. That's it. Of course. Bloodthirst 3 is good. This might be like the only spender they have. So I'm feeling pretty confident with just removing that right now. Good. This is exactly what we hoped for. And we'll just go ahead and take, right? That was like a hero play. There we go. We sniped it. Now, I have to say, the Turgvy is not great. If we damage this by its base power, we do 4 damage, but we hit 1 armor. It's the same thing as doing that, but it looks better. It really just comes down to me thinking that this is Cobb. It could be a Purify as well, but it's hard to say. Like, it'll be the Cobb play, I'm sure. I just didn't see any tributes before that. That's the thing, like, maybe the 1? Yeah, okay, so it's Kurt. We should just be fine though, right? Because we have an 8-point slam at the end. That's how it's played. Yeah, we got it.
Hurry now. We'll tend your ankle biters too.
Of course, friend.
Okay, we got Call of Harmony. That's exciting. 1 and 2 boats first round sounds good to me. Jutta can go back. We gotta be careful with our mulligans though, otherwise we might actually brick the boat sequence. This needs to go back. And I feel like we need to get rid of something else that's gold, you know? I think iced could go back. Okay, we just got lucky. Good pulls. Just boost that up, make it difficult for them here, and we'll get the second boat down on whenever they play.
I kneel before no one.
That's not a great card to pull with this, though. I don't have any way of answering that directly. Like, Reckless Flurry would have been really good here, but we also don't want to put Bleeding on that, so I think we just take Savagery. It's kind of like a tempo play, you know? Maybe we just don't have to worry about that all too much. I just wish there was another way to dish random damage. Rain is a thing, but Fukusha round 1's bad. We don't have anything set up either.
Has anyone seen
Okay.
me?
Percival, leader. Okay. Yeah. This has higher base power than Percival. I think we take it like this. I think I could put Bleeding on like 2 things and then maybe... Okay. A little bit of a slower play, so we have maybe a chance here.
For me?
Alright, let's take care of this hand buff situation. Maybe we find a way to get out of the round this turn. Otherwise, you know, we have a couple things we could play.
Special plugs, just for you,
It's
love.
3 and 2. Let's see here. On a pass, we do get out. But I feel like we just go for it a little bit longer here.
I promise you a quick deal.
Just because we get a really good Turgvy on this, and I don't think we're going to get a better one this game.
Go! Blasana!
Goes to 1, they bring a card out, we take this now,
Raids are raid.
take that.
Not whose village we pillage.
It's just the fact that they spent the leader round 1 makes me want to compete for the round because it's a huge advantage for us if we take it. I can't tell if they're devotion or they just played this, you know what I mean? Because it was summoned. But I think they're probably devotion because playing that, you'd probably want to be, right? I don't think you'd just put it 2 points in for the tag.
You are no lunatic of mine.
So they have 1 Bountiful in hand.
Cardwell and shit.
Simlas played here. Minus the 7, plus the 3. It's just not very optimal. We've got Bloodthirst 3. I think we could still afford to play this here. But if we're going to pass, we're going to pass on this turn coming up. Yeah. A lot of movement cards with no movement engines. I'm gonna take it here, just in case, because like I think that maybe they're playing like decent amount of specials, maybe they have gourd or something like that, but it just doesn't seem worth it. There you go. See, that's something that would actually be kind of bad. Yeah, good thing we passed. Really expensive round for them, not so much for us. No, we need a throw card. I guess it would be that. Maybe Slash goes back. Vabjorn can go into any of which we think is necessary, I guess. I'm comfortable, even if they push with a hand like this, that it'll work. Yeah.
Worry not. We'll tend to your ankle biters too.
So we got 1, 2, 3. Both of those. We can warm up a Raider, play Herald second. So we have how many in deck? We still have quite a few raid cards, so we don't have to worry too much. I think this is not bad to keep. This definitely has to go. And if I had to choose, we know Bloodthirst is going to be something we can get, but we can always pull for that later. That's better. We just need Fukusha. Obviously we missed it, but
Very corpses. Nay, feed our foes to the
since they have
crabs
movement, maybe they have Gezra, so I'm going to play on range row.
No mercy!
First, you must learn to flinch.
Is Bran more points than Hunter in a long round? Taking away the engine feels important to me. Yeah, let's just do that first, because we could still Herald after. Dunk at 6. Okay. I keep saying that I want to like do things, but I feel like we have to just take the Vabjorn into the stunning blow. And no one really plays it, so no one really expects it, but I do think that it has a place. Okay, this... We gotta get rid of this now. It just kind of relies on the framework here. Herald coming out at this point with this many cards, it's probably this. Then we take the Blood Eagle off of it.
We'll follow you always into the fair.
Or Savagery, right? We have options. It actually doesn't matter. Like, if we overkill it, then we get a better... Yeah, we get a better Bran, I guess, 9 points, plus the 1 off the... Yeah. Or there's that. I think we take this first, just because it's harder to set up. Because we can set up a Blood Eagle. Okay. That's kind of bad, right? I just think that they're going to be going much taller. Here, let's just get Herald online. Or Raider online. And then we can just... We're not going to be able to catch it at Deathblow, but we can deal with it somehow. Yeah, Gezra. You see, I had a feeling. Okay. This is probably worse than this. But this is probably the worst. Gezra's is not really doing a whole lot. This actually slaps our back row, but this moves them both. Like, this is giving 2 points per turn. This is 2 every second turn.
My baby is
5. think it's actually we just take this. We just don't know what row it's coming onto. Okay, I think I'm actually going to take out the Cowitcher.
Exactly what I'd hoped for.
Torque's not really that great.
Humans have no right to
Yeah, we just get rid of this here. It shouldn't be too bad, right? We get a 1 and 3. Actually, we just play it safe, just in case. Like, I think at this point we have enough points that it doesn't matter if we take the 8. Like, the 8 would technically be more points unless they put something that's movement. And Skag's just... yeah, okay. Alright, so we got Northern Realms Inspired Zeal up here. And this might be the last game for today, because I have another video I want to work on after this for tomorrow. Tomorrow's my mom's birthday, so I'm going to be away from the computer and going to visit family for a while. So, got to make sure it's up for the 8 a.m. time. But let's see here. We got... these could be good. Kingbrand round 1's never really good. This could be good as well in this round. Like, I'm thinking it could be mages, it could be siege. I just want to have answers to both these things. I like setting this up in grave, but I don't think we need to right here. Blood Eagle's good to see. This is good for engine removal. Hand looks pretty good. Maybe one of the invaders goes away. Okay. Let's just get this warmed up here, and I'm feeling pretty confident about boosting it. Like, if they want to use a Selkirk and duel it out, then so be it. Like, these things happen. Okay, that's annoying.
yet. I'm an officer and a gentleman.
It, like, requires an immediate answer. Okay, so it's mages. I think we just have to let the Raffords go
Anything alive would be dead now.
and just work on the other stuff. Really, it sucks, but it is what it is. We probably... you know, we can chip at it, because it's a cooldown, right?
Treason, turncoats, rats.
Savagery off of that would be nice. I was thinking about doing it first, but it wasn't like a biggest temple play, I guess. That's annoying. Do they stuff it on the wrong row for the damage? Yeah. Yeah, they do.
Well, this time, yes.
You know, I could get rid of it right away. Yeah. We can just do that. One and one. We want to keep them small, even if it costs us the round at the end of it.
Hold my
So we need more 4-point removal. It's probably just this, right? Getting more of these engines out there. Like, that's a bit of an advantage that we have, is just being able to ping things down, so now they're all at 1. Hopefully they could play... oh, there's the last one. Get that to 2, I guess. Sure. Yeah, it's gonna make it a little bit further than I'd like it to make it. So Decree into John, I wonder if they're just not running... they might not actually have Amphibious, or they have both, which is just kind of like, well... into Winch. You know, this one will make it to 4. That's all I gotta say, right? Like, 2... yeah. Plus we're down a considerable amount. I think we just have to pass on it there. They did play quite a few golds, and I mean... for what it's worth, they don't have, like, the Zeal and the Alumni, which is kind of good. So maybe we just go and we pass there. We'll get the Scoia'tael later to deal with one of them. And then we have one Gutting Slash as well. It's not all that bad. I would expect them to push round 2 just because, you know, they won round 1 uneven. We have good setup with this. I think that's worth keeping. I don't love 2 of these because we could probably do better. That's better. Now, if I was to take Vabjorn, we have, like, yeah, so the play might actually be Blood Eagle into Vabjorn, into Fleet, into Longship, just so that we can maybe pull these cards into, like, a round 3.
So, shall we warm up with a fire spell?
There's the last one, sure.
Women, children,
If they bring out a duel, I'll be pretty upset, but it is what it is. Because we want to death blow that. Okay.
Spells are a serious
Plans
matter,
changed.
taken proudly, with grace.
We have to get rid of both. It's like a priority here. I think it has to come down to this, though.
Reasons for the feeble of heart.
Like, still? Because I just don't see how good this would be without anything else. Unless they take Shawnee here, but... There it is. So it'll be patience too. They give it. I got two things I want to remove at the same time.
Not I.
If they click it, it's fine. There. We don't have to worry about that anymore. We gotta worry about this one, though. So, Bloodthirst 3 would be captured by playing this. Because they'll probably boost that once I... It's kind of expensive, but I think we're supposed to. They boosted it plays for 2. If they boost it off leader. So they let it go? I don't think they do. That's a surprise. 16, 19. We take it a little bit slower here. Warming this up, taking out Shawnee the next chance we get. That's the plan. Take it out with the savagery. They won't winch it here, I don't think. I want to establish enough of a lead so that we don't have to play Herald, because I think Herald's kind of like a win condition. Herald Fukusha, iced, like it's just a lot of points, even for Alumni to keep up with. They see the plan here, they boost it to 6, take care of this, okay. We can play this. Next turn, we can use savagery off of the Letitia. I think that they're going to get the winch they're looking for. That's some carryover, I suppose. Yeah, what other choice do we have? This is only patience 1. We take this out. So, it's probably the most points going into Fukusha and Scoia'tael later. They're going to use both. We might actually have to all in here. Yeah. depends. Because, we'll see, Bloodthirst 2, actually they play another card. We get Bloodthirst 3 for that, so Zeal. I think we have to play this.
Of course, friend.
They have 2 there, plus the 8 there. We have this leader off the 10, plus Herald. Like, I think we should be fine, even if it's like a Gerhard or whatever the case. Top deck should be pretty good too, that's all. So they're gonna go for it, alright.
But we shall prevail.
Click, goes... Do they click? No. We don't have the Bloodthirst we're looking for, that's tough. That's really tough. It's still the most points to do it this way though.
Burn the homes, fell the trees, ended shiny, plunder!
So a little bit of an advantage, the fact that they have the chapter here, they'll be able to play another one. Bakusha's just good though. We just need something proactive to play alongside that. So if I can pull like in the Invader or a boat or something, that would be pretty good. There we go. I think we dump this as well. That's probably the worst card we could pull. We can get Rain off of it perhaps. We'll see.
Why not? We'll tend your ankle biters too.
We have each other's backs.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I can get rid of that at least, which is really good.
You broke my heart. You shall never find peace.
It's gotta be this. Get rid of it right away.
Not get away with this.
Now, our last turn's playing for 2 points.
They do not fall. Why do they not fall?
Yeah, they would have to have like a 0-point play to even tie. That was a tough one. What's it gonna be? Another alumni. Yeah, so not bad. It's just difficult.